Dr. Emrich here. Welcome to the Social Prof podcast. Today, I am introducing the strategy of content marketing in the digital environment. Content marketing, what is it really? At its core, content marketing is a strategic focus on creating and distributing valuable media that informs, engages, and ultimately builds loyalty with your audience. Unlike traditional advertising, which, as we know, largely revolves around selling products or services directly, content marketing takes a different path. Here, the goal isn't to sell, but to provide value, to earn trust. When we think about this trust driven approach, the audience is, well, kind of central. You see, content marketing prioritizes the needs, interests, and even the pain points of the people you're trying to reach. By addressing those aspects, it allows you to connect on a much deeper level. It's not about bombarding people with a sales pitch. It's about building relationships rooted in understanding and providing solutions that actually matter to them. Now, what makes content marketing truly stand out? To start, it has some unique characteristics that we as marketers need to grasp. For example, it has to be educational. Your content should inform, but at the same time, keep people engaged. They should find themselves learning something they didn't know before, but also enjoying the process of learning. This balance of utility and entertainment is critical for sustaining interest. Consistency is another key element. Think of it as building a habit, not just for yourself, but for your audience too. If your message is inconsistent or scattered across platforms, you're, well, really not going to capture long-term attention. For content marketing to work, it needs to be reliable and, yes, consistent with your brand identity. And that brings me to perhaps one of the most exciting aspects of content marketing today, the multi-channel strategies. Companies are no longer confined to just one medium. They're utilizing blogs, podcasts like this one, visual content, webinars, interactive features, and they're doing it all at once. Why? Because that's where the audience is. People consume information across so many different platforms that really your strategy has to meet them where they are to remain effective. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, content marketing has become, well, incredibly dynamic. Innovation is really shaping the way brands reach and engage their audiences. One trend that's driving this evolution is data-driven personalization. By using AI-powered tools to analyze audience preferences and behaviors, marketers can customize their content on an individual level, making every interaction feel more relevant. This kind of personalization isn't just a nice to have, it's quickly becoming a requirement in 2025. And AI itself isn't limited to just personalization. It's now playing a major role in content creation, from crafting engaging blog posts to generating video scripts and even designing assets like social media graphics. These tools save time and enhance creativity, freeing up marketers to focus on strategy and deeper audience connections. Another area of growth is immersive and interactive media. Think augmented and virtual reality experiences that draw people into your brand's story, or even something simpler like interactive quizzes and calculators. These kinds of tools aren't just innovative, they're effective at keeping audiences engaged for longer stretches of time. And honestly, they can be a lot of fun for your users, which helps build stronger brand affinity. Let's look at two real world examples to illustrate how these strategies work in action. Take Sony's Alpha Universe platform. Instead of focusing solely on selling cameras, Sony has created a rich ecosystem of content for photography enthusiasts. Through blogs, podcasts, and training resources, they're not just sharing insights, they're fostering a dynamic, loyal community of users who are naturally inclined to explore Sony's products. It's, well, quite brilliant. Then there's TD Ameritrade with their Think Money magazine. This is such a compelling case of how educational content can drive engagement and profitability. By offering actionable trading insights through an accessible format like a magazine, TD Ameritrade enriches its audience's knowledge while creating touch points for deeper interaction with their platform. What's fascinating is that subscribers reportedly trade significantly more frequently than non subscribers. That speaks volumes about the power of consistent, targeted content. Now, alongside these larger scale innovations, we've also seen a rise in community driven content formats. Webinars, online courses, and even social media quizzes are being used to engage audiences directly while fostering interaction. These formats not only educate but also encourage active participation, creating a sense of belonging and trust within a brand's community. We've explored the foundations and the innovative strategies of content marketing. Now, let's bring it all together with some practical insights that you can implement right away. To start, creating compelling content is really, well, about resonating with your audience. At the heart of this process is consistency. Your message should align with your brand's voice and it needs to, show up regularly. Consistent content not only keeps your audience engaged, it also builds a habit, making your brand a familiar and trusted presence in their lives. But beyond just showing up, your content has to deliver value. And by value, I mean content that's actionable. For example, instead of saying, engage your followers, show them how or give them steps to do it effectively. By focusing on messaging that solves their problems or enriches their lives, you create that much needed connection that fosters brand affinity. It's not just about what you say, but how you position it to make an impact. And then there's tracking feedback. Analytics on platforms like Instagram or TikTok can give you a full view of what's working and what isn't. Metrics such as engagement rates, video retention times, or even response patterns on interactive posts are, well, like a gold mine of information. Analyzing this data allows you to refine your strategy, leaning into the formats and subjects your audience responds to most. It takes guesswork out of the equation, replacing it with really actionable insights. I always emphasize that a strategy that isn't monitored and adapted is essentially incomplete. Now, more than ever, authenticity is a cornerstone of effective content marketing. Audiences are savvy, and honestly, they can tell when something feels scripted or insincere. Tell genuine stories about your brand's journey, your values, or even errors and the lessons those errors taught you. Authenticity isn't just about being real, it's about creating that human touch that viewers relate to. For instance, sustainable practices or transparent messaging go a long way in fostering trust. If a business openly shares how it's making an effort to reduce its environmental footprint, that moves from being a marketing angle to a value driven connection with its audience. Content marketing at its core is about creating meaningful relationships. It requires strategy, yes, but it also requires heart. Today, we've discussed the importance of consistency, actionable value, leveraging data, and perhaps most importantly, staying authentic. When you get these elements right, content marketing stops being just a tool for driving profit. It becomes really a bridge for forming lasting connections between your brand and your community. And that's all for today. I hope this episode gave you valuable insights and a lot to think about as you approach your own strategies. As always, thank you for tuning in to Mastering Content Marketing Strategies. I'll see you next time.